And away we go. Valafolia then, in the blue and green shirts, get this one underway against the home side. Prosecco Doca Carraro in Moco Conegliano, and a powerful opener from one of the most impressive imports this year to Italy. Fattoumata Sile of Slovenia has deputised very well for Gabi and also for Ju Ting when she has been called to do so. She's alongside Nika Dalderop in this match. Silla serves then. Corneliano in the yellow. The Panthers at home have been, well, virtually impossible to beat. Let's be absolutely honest, over the last few years. And they start very, very strong in this one. Silla to serve again. Goes with that hybrid ball toss. So it's a float ball toss, but she can put topspin or float on the ball.
Al servizio, l'esperienza dopo Conegliano fu a Bergamo a metà campionato, un paio di campionati fa. Sceglie la parallela su Silla, in testa a Wowosh, primo tempo. Sarafar gioca subito sul sicuro la regista polacca di Conegliano. Combinazione tra le più efficienti di tutto il campionato, oltre che della squadra di Conegliano.
Impressive stuff. Wowosh managing to use the middle early, going to far with a decent service, putting Vallefoglia under pressure. Another point scoring chance here for the Panthers. Dalderop takes it. Real precision, real application to the task early from this Conegliano team, and putting Gaia Giovannini, Italian world champion, under some serious pressure. Far, tough serve, better pass, and that one goes the right way this time for Vallefoglia. Sonia Candy puts a point on the board. 32 years of age now, Candy, having a magnificent season at the moment with Vallefoglia. 49 points, just the one ace, and a few blocks in the time that she's been out on court. Silla, great pass from the Slovenian. Dalderop goes for the sideline on the far side, and she's missed it. So Corneliano with a little stumble, allow Vallefoglia back in. Setter Valentina Bartolucci, just 22 years of age with the serve. She has stepped up really well in the top division. Not a complex setter, just runs those offenses really well and works hard on set location. Loveth Omrugli, another one of those Italian world champions on the Vallefoglia side of the net. There's a few on the other side as well. The likes of Lubian and Farr and Di Gennaro. But Omrugli puts it away, and Bartolucci with the serve. Hawk is slowed down. This is better from Vallefoglia. Omrugli, very impressive cross-court, dug by Silla, and Dalderop forced into some pretty extreme action there off the Wowosh set. Makes good use of the block.
Il pallone addosso all'avversario. 5-4, vantaggio Conegliano. Bella Oca al servizio. Spinge su De Bortoli, Bartolucci, l'apertura per Omorui, toccata dal muro, non c'è la...
Solid stuff. Good scramble from Dalderop and Di Gennaro. So once again, Corneliano committing to defence early in the match. It's one of the major parts of the way they play their volleyball. Very organised in block, very powerful in their side-out offence, but also willing to get down and make those defensive touches. Omrugli, good start to the game. Serves Silla. Nice work out of the back line. Hawk manages to put one away. I'll keep you up to speed with the scoring charts as we go. Could see some pretty big numbers in this game. I would imagine the opposites are going to have to contribute. Bici yet to get on the scoreboard to the same levels, but She will come into her own in this game. Good swing from Bici, really nice angles from her, and the Albanian international puts that away for her second point of the game, sends Candy back to the service line. Nice on the slide. That is a particular play that a couple of seasons ago looked to be unstoppable. Volleyball setting on that reverse slide ball to Lubian. It's been a little sketchy since then, but this season getting used more and more, and Lubian getting back into the rhythm of making multiple points. Now, another hybrid serve. Float ball toss, top spin swing at the ball. It's a good one. It's produced a freebie. Lubian given the ball to set for Hawk. Sends it high. Hawk sends it across with real power and real precision. Out to the sideline to beat Bartolucci.
Sanno palleggiare benissimo. Questa è la conferma. 8-6, vantaggio Conegliano col punto di Hawk, servita da Lubian, ricezione
tight ball. Bartolucci makes the most of it. Giovannini with a clever volley into the block and away. Two young Italians working well together. Bartolucci 22, Giovannini just 23 years of age. Good future in this top division. Bici and her jump serve. Unloads. What a pass from Di Gennaro. Massive shots, both sides of the net. A huge serve from Bici, an incredible pass from Di Gennaro. And then Fatoumata Sylla coming back with the heat. And she impressed in game one that she got on court with at the start of this season, did Sylla. And she has been hammering away ever since. Short serve from Volleyball. Slide option this time taken by Vallefoglia. Nice run by former Panthers player Bojana Butigan. Runs it nice and wide out to the antenna. Sylla can't get there. Giovannini. No, too much on that one, and genuine frustration after that one from Gaia Giovannini. Valafolia will have come into this game fully understanding that a big service game plan has to be executed. They've trained really hard this week, and according to their players, have trained really well for this match. Sylla deep to the baseline with that lollipop float. Bici, another fabulous shot from her. And the head-to-head between Bici and Hawk is going to be a fascinating one as this game develops. Bartolucci will not want to overuse Bici, but she knows that she's key to keeping this scoreboard turning. So good decisions at the moment from the young setter. Butigan then with the service. Corneliano still with a point lead. Good serve down the line on Sylla, testing her pass. Turned down the line by Dalderop and defended by Bartolucci. Dalderop gets on the Omruyi play, and a bit of invention from Corneliano. Patience again. Patience from the Panthers. Will it be rewarded? Vallefoglia still in the rally. And another chance. Hawk again goes hard at the corner. Beautiful defence from Giovannini. Oh, no. Giovannini putting her body on the line a couple of times in that rally and making some quality pickups. And then the ball balloons off the block. It looked like Bici had a lot of time to play it, and instead it hits the floor. And there we go. Corneliano and their willingness to keep recycling the ball until it pays dividends once again scores the point. Sylla a little slow to the floor as it deflects off the block. Ninth place, 9 points with 3 wins and 4 losses for Vallefoglia at the moment, against the 23 points and 8 wins from 8 for Corneliano. So it's pretty obvious in terms of the rankings who is favourite for this game. But this is a spirited start from the Vallefoglia team. Loveth Omruyi with a fabulous shot down the line. 2 seasons with Corneliano when she really was a very young player and new on the scene. And we've got our first challenge of the match. Looks like it's Daniele Santarelli that is making the inquiry via the video. Just confirming with Dalderop what the challenge is all about, and Nika Dalderop looks less than convinced. Still not quite clear what it is for. Only clue we had there was Dalderop's movement of her arm and elbow, possibly suggesting a net touch.
Da quello che ho visto io qui in alto dalla mia postazione a attirare l'attenzione del suo coach per dire guarda che hanno mosso la rete da quella parte.
Chance for the coaches once again to engage with the players as we wait for this decision.
Non ho notizie del secondo arbitro che è esattamente sotto la mia postazione, quindi non vedo cosa stia succedendo dalle parti del video check. Tabellone che intanto segna 11 pari perché la palla era andata a terra con un punto assegnato a Omorui, ma vediamo se sarà invece l'inversione di questo punto. Intanto anche Candia a parlare col primo arbitro, con una verifica che si attende perché lo scambio.
Video technicians watch the game very closely, so they have a sort of a predisposition to understand what might be reviewed, but occasionally you get one that comes out of left field. And when that is the case, that's more difficult for the video tech to process because you've got to go back through the footage and find the frames that matter. Here they are. Well, there's no touch on the net, but that's a bit irrelevant considering that Omruyi won the point. Top scorer, Omruyi on 4. And Valafolia continue the strong start, 11-all. Bartolucci puts it in court. That is just remarkable stuff. Well, the way the rotation's set up, Lubian gets to use the slide a lot more than Sarah Farr does, but both the players now, both those Italian middles have developed so strongly in front of Volosh. Hawk trying to get herself into the game. It's been a quiet start for Bella Hawk, who has 3 MVPs and counting this season.
Terzo errore diretto di Conegliano, solo uno di Vallefoglia.
Hawk just stretching her hip out ahead of this next play. Forced to bump that one after the missed pass. And a chance here for Valafolia to take the lead. Bicci. Oh, what a get from Di Gennaro. And what a set from Vowash, but it's not for the point. Vowash had to travel a long, long way there. Well over the 8 meters to get back to her blocking position, and that was very well spotted by Bartolucci, who feeds it fast and flat. Watch Vowash come and get it. Falls to the floor, has to get up and get all the way back to her blocking position, and before she can, the set's up and hit. 13-12 Omruyi once again targets Silla. Dalderop with a fine shot. Good handball goalkeeper save from Di Bortoli, but can't keep the ball in play. So another new starting lineup for the Panthers and Daniele Santarelli, and it's taking a little bit of time to settle. Good serve, hits Candy. Out of system swing from Bicci. Volosh has managed to keep that ball flying, as have Valafolia. Nobody taking the option of hitting the overpass, so they go for the multiple touches, and it's cost them. A little bit of indecision there from Conegliano. And Santarelli pacing the sideline knows full well that this is not the start his team needed. This is not the rhythm that he wants to see. And this is giving Vallefoglia and captain Sonia Candy a chance. Good service from the middle player. Oh, what a block. Bojana Butigan has just put Silla on the floor big time. Fabulous alignment and fabulous finish. Valafolia are up in the match. Break point for Valafolia. Corneliano battling hard here. That's whipped out of play. That's a problem that we've seen quite a bit of from Lubian this season. Overcutting that ball on the slide. And she's missed it. 16-13 Valafolia. And Santarelli has to go to the timeout. His team under some pressure here early in the match. Well, so far so good. Andrea Pistola looks a little bit shocked there in the timeout. Probably wasn't expecting to be conducting that one at 3 points up, but he will certainly take it. This is a brilliant comeback after a strong opener from Conegliano. The comeback from Vallefoglia has been really impressive. Good steady side out game, and it's allowed the servers just to expand a bit and get some pressure. Ace from Candy. Second ace of the season for Sonia Candy. Doesn't serve too many, despite the fact that she can get brought into games as a serving specialist, but good pressure from her. Hawk out. Volosh out. In comes Jenna Hewitt, and in comes Edigwe. USA and Italy replace Poland and Sweden. And it feels like the set is over. Feels like a bit of a gesture there from Santarelli. Candy just misses the sideline. That was very close to another ace. Lubian. So watch the ball toss from Lubian. It's a fairly low float ball toss, but then watch the power that she can get into the ball. No, not enough on that occasion. So 2 errors on the bounce from Lubian. And Santarelli suggesting she goes back to just hitting the float of that ball toss. Back to the jump serve of Bicci. There's no respite for Conegliano. Beautiful set from Hewitt, pounded by Edigwe. Well, still one of the most talented teenagers in volleyball on the planet, Merit Edigwe. 19 years of age, third season with Corneliano, and has had relatively restricted court time at the start of the season, but has a real chance to impress here, and she has a hell of a jump serve. Massive. Picked off the floor by Omrughi. Good hit from Giovannini, but defended. And Silla gets into her work. What a fantastic dig from Omrughi. And it just dropped on Bicci. She gave it the full treatment, came in as hard and aggressive as she could, but there was no ball to hit when she got there. And well played to the substitutes. On come Hewitt and Edigwe, and they force Andrea Pistola's hand. He calls timeout. So, interesting stuff. We see it so often from Conegliano. They do go down by 3, 4, 5 points in sets and still come back and win it. Such is their ability with block organisation and serve pressure to dominate teams. But Vallefoglia are still in a decent position here at 2 points up. Edigwe to serve again. Another fantastic ball. Ace from Adigwe. What a start to her appearance on the court. And in this sort of form, can't see Santarelli changing things too quickly. We will see. Normally speaking, once Adigwe's service run comes to an end, he will put Volleyball and Hawk back in, but we will see. Another cracker. What a pass from Di Bortoli. And it's put away right on the edge of the envelope. That is some play from the Vallefoglia libero. Chiara Di Bortoli with a fabulous scoop dig on that massive serve from Adigwe. Giovannini to serve then. Vallefoglia still clinging on to a break. Not the best from Silla. Forced to tip. Good pick up from Bici. Chance from Ruggi. Hits it out. No touch on the block. 5 points from Ruggi. She remains the top scorer in this opening set. Silla. Blown a bit hot and cold in the opener. Normally very reliable on her pass, but has been targeted by the opposition. What a hit. Yes, that is fabulous. That might have hit the foot. That might have hit the foot of Valentina Bartolucci. And Daniele Santarelli is convinced of that fact. Rushes over to the referees. He's saying ask her. But it's not for the player to own up to these things. But that ball, when those balls are hit and they're spinning off the arms defensively, the Mikasa ball will, as will all the other balls, Martin included, will start to move a little bit through the air. And he thinks it's spun back, and as Bartolucci is looking at the line more than the ball, that ball has spun back and caught her. But I think Sarah Farr is making the point that not much you can do about this. This will be a tricky one to win. I think it went all the way past the shirt and down and hit the foot. This will be fascinating to look at. He's having a lot of fun with this. He's having a lot of fun with this. And I think Valafolia have seen the amusing side of it as well, although this is a big point for them. The only person not smiling at the moment is Bici at the back there. Bartolucci did exactly what you should do. You run across and cover the ball. You make absolutely sure you shepherd it out of play off the Di Gennaro defence. But if there's a bit of spin on that ball, it can move through the air. This is going to take a while to sort out. Monica Di Gennaro, in the absence of Volleyball, is the standing captain, and she's up there with the referee talking it through. Husband Daniele Santarelli on the sideline is talking to a higher power than that, I think, about getting the right decision. And it's a big point. This is a big point, and Amanda Simbari making the point to Monica Di Gennaro that the footage might not be available to check this one. This is a really tricky one to find. All you can say is ball in or out. If you ask for the ball in or out, well, in the frame with her foot on the line was Bartolucci. So that should be available to the video technician from our multiple high-speed cameras. You see those black boxes on top of the advertising hoardings? Look like mini rabbit hutches. They're the high-speed cameras positioned around the floor. There's also some up on the net. And the Conegliano fans here in the Pala Verde making their voices heard. Yellow card has been issued. Well, they've obviously not managed to come to a decision. They've not managed to find the correct footage. Daniele Santarelli is incensed. His team have lost the point, a point that he thinks they won. And Vallefoglia keep their noses in front. That was a big shot from Omrughi to beat Di Gennaro. And after all of that shenanigans, we've got a substitution. On comes the experienced Romanian international, Adelina Ungurianu. Signed for Valafolia in the off-season from previous club Perugia. She was at Pinerolo for 2 seasons prior to that, and a very emotional departure from that club. 2018 then. Can Ungurianu find a serve to hurt the Panthers? Clips off the nets, and it's good enough to beat Di Gennaro for the ace. And that is rubbing salt in the wounds. Timeout called by Daniele Santarelli. I think he just wants to reset the players here heading into set 2. And they're going to be going there by the looks of it. 1 down. Although you must never count the Panthers out of it. Well, interestingly, the TV director has chosen not to re-show the Bartolucci incident either. Certainly a good idea that it wasn't put up on the big screen, because there would have been a lot of fans with an opinion on that one. And the Panthers are ready to go. An emotional opening set with plenty of drama going on already has set the scene for what could turn into a really good contest now. Out comes Bartolucci, who's at the centre of that controversy just moments ago. In comes Michaela Stoyanova of Bulgaria, 20 years of age, 1m94. She's on for her blocking height. And they're going to play the next point, minus a setter. Vallefoglia. Ewart fires it on the reverse to Adigwe. I tell you what, Merit Adigwe has looked sensational since coming onto court for Bella Hawk. A huge service run, that is a massive side out. And it means with 4 points still to score and just the 2 points up, it means Valafolia are not out of the woods yet. Sarah Farr then at the service line. What a fantastic game this is turning into. Trickles off the net. Giovannini makes the pass. Clever. That is so clever. That's real maturity for a youngster. Bartolucci understanding the situation and realising the blockers had our eyes elsewhere. Well played. 22-19. Vallefoglia just trying to keep the scoreboard ticking. Good defence from Omrughi. Ball goes on the reverse to Bici. Can't beat Adigwe. Wow, Dalderop is shut down by Candy and Bici. This is brilliant from Vallefoglia. Where does Santarelli go from here? That was the Bici swing, but this is the return block. Huge. Shank pass from Sconemilio, who's just come onto court to try and shore up the pass. Bici forced to tip. Good coverage from Giovannini, who's putting in a defensive shift in this opening set. Massive shot from Dalderop, but it's out. And this set is disappearing rapidly. Video challenge from Daniele Santarelli, but a petulant one. Don't think this has got a chance. I think it's just a case of slowing the game down. Vallefoglia have brought it to Conegliano, and the changes, although positive, haven't worked to stop the scoreboard flying round. Well, we will come back to that Bartolucci incident. It was a key point. If Corneliano had won it, the score difference was just a single point. But the fact that it was given out and not touching the player, that one's out as well, didn't touch anything. Yeah, that gave Vallefoglia a renewed impetus. 24-19, 5 set points, and a fabulous start from the visitors. Bartolucci has played really well so far in this match. Scooped over for the point. Everything Vallefoglia touch in set one is turning to gold. A brilliant start to the match from them. 25-19, they put the Panthers away. And Megabox Undulati Savio Valafolia lead Prosecco Doc a Carraro in Moco Conegliano by 1-0. How about that? I remember reading an article many years ago, as we take a look at this last point, a dramatic one it was as well. Great defence, great little pokey over from Omrugli. It's all good for Valafolia and Andrea Pistola. He knows there's a long way to go though, doesn't he? That expression tells everything. As you tailor the tape, and while you digest that, I'll tell you about the article. It was on Chinese table tennis, and it pointed to the fact that China were becoming so dominant in the sport that the Chinese table tennis fans were really struggling to find a way of supporting, because the Chinese teams were beating everybody, and it was almost a foregone conclusion. Well, there was that kind of flavour at Conegliano last season, and it's these matches where they lose a set, where things get a bit close, where they have to come back. It's these matches that reignite the fans' passion and allow them to cheer something other than a rampant runaway victory. Round goes Old Wild West, as he's known, with the T-shirt cannon. Freebies going into the crowd, always popular, the T-shirt cannon. So the teams will stay as they are. First two sets in Italy these days, you stay in the same place, then change at half-time, as it were, and play the next two sets if it goes that long from the other end, and then toss when it comes to set 5. Not a bad way of doing it, keeps things moving pretty quickly. Where does Daniele Santarelli go with his rotation from here? Because Adigwe did not put a foot wrong. Ewart set very nicely, but it's a big call to take out Volosh and Hawk. Don't think he's going to do that. And Andrea Pistola just having a look across at the players stepping out onto the floor. I think he was fully aware that that double substitution would be reversed to start set number 2. And Hawk and Volosh do indeed return, and Di Gennaro takes over as the leader and lays the law down. Leads by example. Do as I do. Well played, Vallefoglia. We got a match on our hands. Corneliano will be asked to step out of their current situation and find a way to win this match. One dramatic moment from Armando Simbari to sort out. All dealt with in the end, but it counted against Corneliano in a big way. Asha, as she's known, Asha Volosh, to serve, the captain of this Conegliano team. And she's got a job on her hands here, because Vallefoglia are playing some terrific volleyball. Taking set number 1 by a convincing scoreline, 25 points to 19, the team in black and green. But can the visitors keep it going? That is always the problem when it comes to playing Prosecco Docimoco Conegliano. First point on the board then for the champions in yellow. Volosh fires it on the back set to Hawk, who tips. Didn't see any tipping from Adigwe when she was on court. Silla tight to the block, can't out jump them. Gets another tight ball as well. Set location not helping Silla there. Good dig Beautiful defence from Dalderot. Third go at the ball for Silla, but this time all she can do is bump it over. Out of the back line, well patrolled by Sarah Farr. Gets out wide and fast on the block on Giovannini. And this is a massive rally. Farr eventually gets hold of it and sends it deep enough into court to beat the diving defence of Lovis Omrughi, who doesn't get enough credit for her defensive abilities. Seen her play some terrific games in backcourt. Omrughi just not quite up to the task on that occasion. What a game here on VBTV. This could turn into a cracker. Conegliano's certainly been woken from their slumbers in set one. Still not got much rhythm. There's still not a flow to the offence. Silla hasn't really had a ball to go at yet, but she's made the point on that occasion for 3-0. But permit me, if you will, to just take you back to the start of set one. Lively start for Corneliano, exactly the same. Followed by Vallefoglia getting back into it and cruising past them at the midway point, never looking back. Omrughi, the lead scorer in the match at the moment, on 7. Silla on 4, Adigwe on 3, Dalderop and Farr and Candy also on the same number. Bella Hawke is only on 2 points at the moment. Big serve, Bichi gets the overpass. This for another point. It's good set selections. If a player has just hit a jump serve as well as that, they are a good option to set in the back line. And Bichi makes it count. Valafolia at the moment showing no signs of backing off. Good shot, good serve. Silla passes it, but it's out of system and gets a really nice spike across court. Had a sore shoulder a few weeks ago. Shoulder was heavily taped, and since then she's managed to get some of the heat back into her offense, but pass has started to become a little wayward, so she's getting targeted by opposition servers. Here she's at the line, the Slovenian international, very good player, very good signing, and produces the overpass to be summarily dispatched by her front line. And it's a tall front line. Dalderop, Farr, Hawke is a difficult block to get past for Vallefoglia. Giovannini with the pass. A lot of ball going to that right side. This one, though, from Bichi is a fault. Steps on or over the attack line. That 3-metre line is out of bounds for the backcourt players. You can take off from behind it. You can hit in front of it as long as you're in the air. And as long as the hit is completed before you come down and land on the floor. And so the work starts for Andrea Pistola, but he knew that that was going to be the case. Highly unlikely that Vallefoglia will be able to dominate this Conegliano team for the second set in a row. So now Vallefoglia just on the back foot a little bit here. Silla still at the service line after that first timeout from Andrea Pistola. Out from Butigan. Hit it hard, but hit it wide. Well, weirdly, sometimes if you get off to a good start against Conegliano, actually you have to wait until set 3 to go again. They can be very strong coming back in set 2. That is fortunate, but the triple ace will go down on the card for Silla, her 6th point in the game. Bartolucci just confirming her attacking signals to The players on the net and the back court. On the slide. Butigan given another chance, and this time hits it lower, but finds that big block of Far and Dalderop. And just like that, this Corneliano team are back in the game. Togboa of Canada then comes in. Straight replacement in the middle for Bojana Butigan. Not a great pass from Di Bartoli. Another point scoring opportunity. Silla makes the most of it. An explosive, dynamic hitter, Fatoumata Silla, with a fair amount of cleverness around what she does with the ball. Not just pure power, but some finesse. Second timeout called very quickly. Andrea Pistola, the Vallefoglia coach, clearly deciding that there's nothing to be gained by waiting. And to be honest, there's probably nothing to be gained from this set. It's been cancelled out very quickly by Conegliano with that points run. Fatoumata Silla is still at the service line. She now joins Lovetham Ruyi as joint top scorer in the match on 7 apiece. For the moment, the Panthers are well on their way to 1-1. Good short serve. Blocker's able to get out onto the isolated hit to Giovannini, who hits a good ball. And then a nice put away by Togboa. Good availability here for the Canadian middle. System again from Silla. That pass could become a problem once more if Valafolia can keep targeting her. Nice work. 3 players in motion in front of Volosh. That's a complete overload for the blockers, with the threat of still potentially going to Hawk. Nice run from Dalderop. Far to serve. 11-3 then. Corneliano in the yellow, back in this match without doubt. Volosh salvages, and Dalderop off her forearm into the net. Go on, be honest, we've all done it. Pros, though, do it just the once per season if they've had a bad season. Top one with the serve. So once again targeted. Hawk hasn't had a hit for a while, but he's commanding with that one, despite the best coverage of Giovannini, who has played really well across the back line. It's about time Bella Hawk came to the party. 8 points up. No pressure on this serve. Should be able to hit a good one, and does. Passed by Giovannini. In off the wing, Lovetham Ruyi continues to impress. Bartolucci then with the serve. Ruyi and Bici out on the antennas as blockers, with Candy between them, so it's a good front line for Valafolia. Again, the missed interaction between Asher and Hawk, and it's cost Corneliano a point. Bici with a fine shot. Better from Silla. See the difference that a good pass, a good tempo on the ball and a good pass on the head of the setter. You see the difference it makes. Suddenly the middle blocker has 4 decisions to consider. If it's off the net, it's maybe just the 1 or 2, and the ball's travelling slowly. Unusual defence from Hawk, but keeps it in play. Candy goes again, second paintbrush swing from her. And I think that's going to go against Candy. Just got a little bit excited and got her hands over and blocked Usher's set. Great serve. Omruyi deals with it well, but not a good set from Bartolucci. Unbelievably, Omruyi has managed to win this from the floor with a prayer pokey. Six aces this season coming into this match, Omruyi, so does have a good service game. Covered by Daldorop. Slide is excellent, well dug by Bartolucci. Bici, what a swing from her. He's just missed the block though. And Corneliano continue what looks like an inevitable progression to the second set, which will be slowed temporarily by this video challenge, which I think has no hope. But Andrea Pistola knows what he's doing. He's slowing the game down. Looks like he's got a bad smell under his nose, doesn't he, Daniele Santarelli, when the opposition coach calls for a challenge that he knows is a wild one. That is wild. Daniele Santarelli does the same thing when he wants to. He'll call a few outlandish challenges. Ruyi comes out, and in comes back up Libro, Alice Feduzzi, so she is in the regular shirt. This is a regular substitution for the youngster to come in. But there is the rule in Italy that the youngsters can have free substitutions. Doesn't help Vallefoglia in any way, as Bici puts a tricky ball out of play. There's almost nothing to gain here for Corneliano. The set is already in the bag. And really, it's just a case of, can they stop losing their rhythm? Can they keep in a reasonably high tempo? Keep the side outs coming. No, that's not what they needed. Silla buries that on the wrong side of the net. He gets another go from the service line. Another tough serve, another tricky ball for Silla. Great point chance. Hoisted by Feduzzi, but Giovannini can't manage to clip the fingertips. It's not great from Corneliano. That flow, organisation, that total volleyball that we love watching them play is not there with this lineup. This is a bit of hard work, a bit of graft to get the job done. And we're back to the old phrase, winning ugly. You don't have to be amazing, as long as you get the W occasionally. Good shot from Bici. Off the outside arm of Silla. Well, 2 or 3 serves here from Beachy, makes it a little bit more interesting. That ain't gonna happen, not with a shot like that. That is Sarah Farr at her very, very best. I'm not sure there's a better hitter in front of the setter for that kind of ball in world volleyball right now. New setter on court, Raquel Lazaro of Spain. Not sure if it's a double sub or if she's come in to set or just play an auxiliary role. She is going to set. Forces out wide to Giovannini, and there was an element of football throw there, but it's got the job done. Rui comes back in for Feduzzi. Three points on the board. Giovannini has had a relatively quiet game, but it's a backup role that she plays to Omruyi in this team. Again, Farr commanding. Absolutely commanding with that ball in front of the setter. You don't really appreciate the full variation to what she does, but you do appreciate the fact that she bounces it pretty much every time. Farr, or Sarah, as she's known simply to the fans, with the serve. It's a good serve. It's coming back as a free ball. All four attackers available. Hit hard by Hawk, defended beautifully by Vallefoglia. They get another go. This time Lubian takes it and does what Farr has just done for the previous 2 points. Lashes it on the floor from the A-quick set. Good movement this from Lubian. Nice ball control, good availability. Sinks to her knees. Frustration for her, but an 8-point lead for Conegliano is going to be more than good enough. It's just going to be about how they get this done. Can they be clinical at the end of this set and just keep Vallefoglia down? That'll help. That is a huge shot. Bella Hawk once again unloading into that steep angle, and an angle she's hitting more and more in her career. So it's a staggered double sub. Adigwe comes in for blocking power over Asha Volosh. They'll play the next point with no setter, so Di Gennaro will be marshalling what happens if the ball is in transition. Oh, it doesn't get into transition, that's touched the arms of Silla. And now the second part of the double substitution will be affected. In comes the American Jenna Ewart, 25 years of age now, the former SC Potsdam setter, and a very good setter as well. Very comfortable at this level in amongst these quality players. A very able understudy to Volosh. Into the action again, Stoyanova of Bulgaria, the left-hander, puts a good ball into court. Ewart saves it. I tell you what, Adigwe is not short on power today. She is lacing absolutely everything. I might give her the next one as well. No, goes to the middle. Lubian is defended. Omruyi makes her way past the block, but Di Gennaro, her Italian teammate, defends. And again off the block. Really well done by Corneliano. Back to basics. Oh, great dig from Ewart. Dalderot can't put it away. Neither team with a setter over the last couple of points. It's Valefolia's turn to battle through without a playmaker, but nothing doing. And their double sub will be reversed. Omruyi shut down by Adigwe. We're back into the zone where Conegliano are the dominant team, winning the big rallies. Vallefoglia had that privilege to the back end of set one, where they did just complete everything. And I heard a great definition of momentum actually listening to the rugby commentary today. A positive action on a positive action on a positive action. And that's exactly what Corneliano have got going on right now. Vallefoglia had it going on at the back end of set one. And there we go, good action followed by the good action. In this particular instance, Fatoumata Sylla heating up the molten. Inside the 3-metre line. No timeouts for Andrea Pistola to go to, so this is going to be Conegliano all the way without much delay. Great dig from Di Gennaro on Omrughi. Bicci defended again. Di Gennaro is getting hands on a bit of everything now. And that'll do for that point. The Panthers with a stinging reply to the audacious notion that Valafolia should take set one. Well, they did, but they've paid for it. Messy stuff down there. And still, Valafolia operate without a playmaker, and that'll be it then for set number one, just about. The luxury of 10 opportunities to attack to win it. Omrughi to serve, and we will be back to all square as the teams change ends. It'll be basically a restart. Hewitt on the reverse to Adigwe. Adigwe has been unbelievable. Wow. Well, if Hawke goes off the boil, Santarelli knows who he can go to, because Adigwe has been superb, and likewise Jenna Hewitt making a real impact from the bench. Good momentum for Conegliano, but they kept the rhythm all the way through to the end, and they've levelled the match at one set apiece, 25-14 in the second. Well, the Ultras make a hell of a noise up there in the gallery where they get positioned throughout the whole of the season. Is that a Digway shot to finish, and Santarelli knows his team are back in business. It's deafening stuff from the group of fans with the drums. It's a pretty exclusive club as well. I don't think it's something you walk into from the street. I think there's a process of application and acceptance to be part of that exclusive group who support so vociferously during games. What a change on the scoreboard for Valafolia. Nothing on special teams. Corneliano completely dominant in set number two. Kilometre trek for Vallefoglia, directly north on the central west coast, right up there to the north of Venice, where Conegliano were based. The Venetians, the Panthers. The team, the club in women's world volleyball right now, and they'll be looking to prove that again when it comes to the World Club Championships in December. They would dearly love to defend their World, European and domestic title. For the second season running, they were all-conquering last season
save that one playoff game against Navarra. They have the look of all conquering once again, as Vallefoglia were humbled in the second set for having the temerity to win set one in impressive style, 25-19. Silla just getting some extras from assistant coach Tommaso Babato and Captain Candy in deep discussion with Lovethomruyi. Not in complete agreement there, I would say, but having a bit of fun with it. Well, they've done their job, really, Valafolia. They've come here, they've taken a set. If they can play well enough to nick another one and bring a point away from the Palo Verde, then that will be a very good return. Anything else, of course, is gold dust. Top scorer in the match and the only player into double figures. Lovethomruyi on 10. Fatimata Silla on 9. Far on 7. Beachy on 6. And Bella Hawke having the quietest game of her season so far. She scored just the 5 points. That doesn't mean that she isn't going to get into things pretty quickly. We're good to go then with set number 3. It's 1-1. And via the captain Volosh, Armando Simbari, the referee, has had a word with Daniele Santarelli, who is not impressed with being told off. Just about ready to get the game back on again. Change of ends now. Will it be a change of fortune for Vallefoglia? They would dearly love to upset Conegliano again in set 3. Away we go with the third set. Vallefoglia in the black and green have so far played very well in the match. Outclassed in set 2 by Corneliano, but that was a reprisal for winning the first set. And the game's top scorer, Lovethomruyi, plants one on the baseline. I tell you what, she is getting better and better as the seasons go on. Always been a big fan, but just watching her comfort levels now in games like this, she looks like it is expected. She expects to win points. Nice defence off the block. Omruyi again fires it. That's the biggest block in the league. Bella Hawke next to Sarah Farr, and Omruyi's just beaten it for 2-0. And Omruyi accelerates to 12 points straight away. Got to watch themselves here, Conegliano. That is an excellent set once again. Usher, as she so often does, goes back to the player that has just been stopped on the last point. Farr this time makes it count. 8 points for Farr now. 9 for the player in your picture, Fatimata Silla. Yeah, nice work on the block, covering it pretty well, but good reuse by Bojana Butigan. Brilliant.
3 points on the bounce for Vallefoglia. And a real application to the task there. Vallefoglia playing that rally like Corneliano would. Not going for it until it was absolutely there to be hit. Corneliano X, Butigan with the serve. Doesn't make it over. Well watched by Usher. Good set deception from Bartolucci, but the ball not hit hard enough by Candy. Oh, that really shouldn't have found the floor, but it did. One of those cases where there are 4 players available to play it and nobody did. Omruyi gets herself another kill. Bartolucci, Vallefoglia 4-2. Bartolucci has set a good game so far. That is superb defence. Oh, stunning from the floor from Giovannini. Omruyi gets the reuse. And Bicci gets the point. This is very good from Vallefoglia. And from Gaia Giovannini, 2 quite phenomenal defensive plays. Bicci applies the finishing touch, but the point belongs to Giovannini. Conegliano in a little bit of a spot early in this 3rd set. Sorted out by the raw power of Bellahawk. Gonu made the point a few years ago that players are not robots. Can't be good every single time, you can't win every single point, and that's what we love about sport. That's the light and shade of watching a long season like this on VBTV, seeing players go through the cycle of having form and struggling for form. Well, in form is Vallefoglia right now on 14 points. A little bit out of shape tonight is Bellahawk for Conegliano and a few of the other Conegliano players. Great read from Candy on Usher. And Vallefoglia plant the seed to win another set to guarantee themselves a point from this match. Once again, a wayward ball gives the opportunity. Vallefoglia and Bicci take it. Points running away here, and we might have to see an early timeout called this time by Santarelli. Andrea Pistola wasn't shy of going there in set 2. Santarelli's hand has been forced in set 3, and I promise you he will absolutely hate calling that timeout. After a huge summer, quite a few players coming back from international duty have just struggled a bit to find their way back to form and find their way back to match fitness. Gabi Guimarães is one of those players in question. And the Brazilian international you would normally have expected to start for Corneliano, whether that be alongside Daldorop or Silla. Doesn't start alongside Juting at the moment. Juting not available again until the end of November. Silla, slightly fortunate pass. Lubian can't put the slide away. It's another chance. And Giovannini hits a great ball. salvaged by the ever-patient Panthers. But that is brilliant out of the back line. And at the moment, Omruyi is a total points machine. She can't miss. 15 in the game now. What a bizarre encounter this is turning into. Well, Conegliano have won the point, but it's not convincing by any means. Still no other player into double figures yet, and Rui's out on her own with those 15 points. Dalderop at the line. Conegliano just need to try and settle here. Maybe not close the gap straight away, just settle into some side-out rhythm. Anything else is a bonus. Oh, fabulous blocking. Absolutely fabulous blocking. Volosh apologising to Hawk there, maybe for giving her a set that was a little bit low. This looks pretty good to me. And Candy makes a terrific block. Vallefoglia captain leading by example. She serves. Vallefoglia got to watch that they don't just let some of this rhythm disappear. They've got to keep that pressure on if they can. Players hate this. Players hate the post-serve discussion, especially if you've missed it. Oh, that is a phenomenal swing. Guy Giovannini, from way wide of the antenna, has managed to get past the block and find a completely free piece of court to land that ball on the baseline. 11-5. A long way to go in the set, but it already looks like Vallefoglia can take this to the bank, and they will do so if they keep playing like this. Blerabici with an ace. What a shot. What a celebration. Well, at last, Gabi comes in. Don't think Santarelli wanted to play her this evening. But he's asked her to come on and do her job. She's in for Dalderop. Silla stays out on the floor. She misses. This is going horribly wrong for Corneliano again. And without a huge amount of pressure being put on by Vallefoglia. Yes, Omruyi has played really well to finish transition and side-out opportunities, but there's a fair amount of mistakes as well from the Panthers that are contributing to their downfall. Second timeout then for Santarelli. Santarelli will be hoping that it's not one of those nights. They were in dire straits against Busto in game one of the season. I was commentating that match, and there was a point at which everything changed in the third set when you just started to think, almost immediately actually, Conegliano are back in and can win it now. Well, at the moment, we got a feeling in the second set that they would dominate. Well, that hasn't happened. Vallefoglia have responded brilliantly, and we're back into the twilight zone as well. From Panthers' point of view, great defence from Omruyi. Bici out of system, hits an absolute worldie. Fabulous shots all round. Unfortunately, Bella Hawk has whipped it wide of the court. Vallefoglia score again. She's just hit one of the best out-of-system shots you will see. Had no right to put pace on the ball, but she did, and it's forced the error.
14-5, Bici continues to serve. Hawk this time finds the target, but a considerable amount of damage has been done. It's not going to be easy to recover from here for Conegliano. And there's a feeling now already that the only way to win this for the Panthers is in 5, unless somebody can find a really good service run in this third set. Or 2 maybe. Bici into the net, gives a freebie. Back to Corneliano. Still only one player in double figures, Omruyi. Deep serve onto Omruyi, who passes brilliantly. The referee had a good long think about that and has eventually given that Valefoglia's way. I'm not sure Andrea Pistola is aware, because he's trying to challenge. Yeah, the players, Bartolucci just saying to him, forget the challenge, we've got it. Giovannini has been exceptional in defence. Made some fabulous touches playing at 6 back. Targets Gabi, good pass from Gabi. Hawk off the block, is defended. Omruyi continues to score points for fun in this third set. This is turning into a real struggle for the Panthers. Digwe in. She replaces the out-of-form Bella Hawk. The substitution does enough to affect Giovannini's concentration, who's once again mad with herself after the serving error. Well, with the Digwe out on the floor in the form that she's in, they've got enough heat out there to rescue the situation, Conegliano, but they can't afford any more errors. And any point opportunity they get, they've got to take it. Good swing from Gabi out of system. Good chase from Silla to close it down on defence, and Adigwe does the rest. I don't think Hawk is going to make her way back onto the floor particularly easily if Adigwe keeps doing this. Delighted about being removed from the lineup. Bella Hawk. Tight. Covered by Gabi. Again, Adigwe given the ball. Again, Adigwe finds a pretty easy route to the point. And this is one of the runs that could put Corneliano back in the mix. She's hitting beautifully right now, is Merit Adigwe. First timeout of the third set for Andrea Pistola and Vallefoglia. Still a very comfortable 6-point lead, but that can be made to feel just a little bit nervy. Corneliano are going to need to put just a couple of 2, maybe 3-point blocks together with the service. Silla had a good run in the second set. She's having a good run here. It's tight for Adigwe. She manages to get it over. Bici from a tricky position has whacked it straight into the antenna. Game feels different now. Corneliano on the charge.
think Vallefoglia have to cling on to the fact that if you'd offered them a 4-point, a 3-point, even a 2-point lead at this stage in the set, they'd have been delighted to accept that offer. Ace from Silla, and the wheels coming off a bit here for Vallefoglia. Pressure building from the Panthers. 8-point lead is halved. Pistola's going to make changes. Thugwam of Canada comes in. So new middle player on court. This is more about delaying Silla's next serve than the substitution in reality. Fantastic player that Thugwam is. Gets the ball immediately and fantastic return. How about that? That's a good reward for the coach for trusting his middle player. Sconemilio comes in to join fellow libero Di Gennaro to help with the pass. Wicked hit from Gabi, well defended. Oh, just couldn't quite get enough elevation on that. Tokboam. Well, Far is capable of putting pressure on from the service line. Another change up, out comes Lubian, in comes the experience of Kirikella, so two vastly experienced internationals in the front line now in Kirikella and Gabi. For this Conegliano team, Far to serve. They need runs of points from the next 3 or 4 servers if they want to survive this set. Good dig from Sconemilio. Gabi from way off, thrashes it through. Block went too early. Sonia Candy knows it. It's a problem with Gabi's timing, the amount of arm swing there is and the height that she gets on the jump. It really does affect a blocker's timing, and Candy just went too early and made herself a target. This is brilliant from the Panthers. Vallefoglia hanging on there. Andrea Pistola using the second timeout. Coneglianos have already gone. We're heading for a straight head-to-head finish now. Good impact from Adigwe, good impact from Gabi. Can Kirikella find a block off the back of the Sarah Farr service? One more point and the Panthers will feel that they are really in this set. Tight, good save. And patience again from Corneliano. And this time, Bici beats the block, but she stepped on the attack line again, and she knew she'd done it. As soon as she landed and saw the ball home, she didn't celebrate. Gabi spotted it a mile off. Conegliano are on a run. 2 servers back to back, Silla and Farr causing all the damage. Another good serve. Bici this time way behind the attack line, hits a good ball but defended by Usher. Farr sets it high and wide to Adigwe. Beautiful defence from Giovannini again. Bici off the block and away. I tell you, she is some player, Erblira Bici. This is a pressure hit. Great dig from Giovannini, but this is a pressure swing. Very nicely done. Two breaks remain for Valafolia. Oh, ace on the baseline. No, just long. Bartolucci and the team celebrating initially until the referee gave it away, and no challenge forthcoming. This is the moment. This is the moment for both teams Adigwe at the service line with her punishing jump serve. This is where Corneliano can get back in it. Vallefoglia have to minimise the damage. Got to get rid of this first ball. No, defended beautifully. Tight for Gabi. Oh, straight into the block, and Candy this time holds her nerve and gets her timing bang on. That might be the point that wins Valafolia the set. Ruyi, the line. Adigwe remains brilliant from any part of the court. Superb dig from Di Bartoli, but Conegliano go again. Out wide to Gabi, this time one blocker to beat, but can't beat Bartolucci. Out from Bicci, and for all her brilliance, it was another ball that Valafolia really needed to see home. Substitution, Silla comes back in for Sconamilia. He's done a good job across the back line. Now it's Silla and her power and height in front court. Omruyi vacates the court. Same substitution as the last set. Alice Ferrucci comes in for passing and defensive duties. Gabi to serve. Doesn't have the biggest serve in the game, but defends well. Oh, that is huge from Adigwe. I tell you what, Di Bartoli has done very well to keep that in play, but it's drifted straight onto the net and into the considerable hitting window of Cristina Chirichella. And the Panthers doing their very best to avoid a 5-set showdown by winning this set and then trying to take the next. Adigwe is rampant. I can't see how Adigwe does not start set 4 ahead of Bella Hawk. This is sensational hitting. Gabi draws level with Corneliano. Bicci can't put it away. Di Gennaro with brilliant defence. Once again, Adigwe finds the court. Lots of room in that far corner. And it is a very unlikely lead. From 8 points down, Corneliano find themselves 1 ahead. What a comeback. That's certainly worth shouting about. Again, the Jello Blue in very good voice. Gabi digs, great, right on the head of Bowash. Silla makes a crazy angle. Candy had gone with another player, and Silla knew that that steep cross court was open. But boy, did she hit that nicely. 21-19, spare a thought for Vallefoglia. Just 5 minutes ago, they were in total control of this set. It's gone by the looks of it. This will be a tough one. This will require tremendous character to try and stay in and compete in this particular set. It'll require even bigger character if Conegliano go on and win it. Good line up, Silla gets in the right place. Oh, that's a decent ball from Adigwe. Giovannini hits hard cross court, dug easily though. That was Ungurianu, my apologies. He was in for Giovannini. It matters not. Corneliano are digging everybody and finishing every transition opportunity. Silla again. Silla one of 3 players in double figures now. Omruyi on 16, Silla 12, Bicci 10. Those are the top scorers in the game. Corneliano claims the touch and gets the point, but it might just be too late. Valafolia still have Omruyi to return to the front court in 1 rotation's time. But that might be too late. Their best player is off court at the moment. Good salvage, nice coverage from Fiduzzi. Great blocking though from Corneliano. Beachy takes it high and hard, it's defended, but look at the commitment from the Conegliano players. That's the captain leading by example, Aisha Volosh. Massive transition point for Vallefoglia. Well, with the block on Gabi 5 minutes ago, it looked like Vallefoglia had shut the Panthers out. They are going again. The set from Volosh to Adigwe wasn't great. Gabi with another tremendous scoop at 6. Brilliant. Oh, unlucky. What a fabulous game of volleyball. What a fabulous rally. Superb effort from Lazaro. Candy can't gather. Massive point, much needed by Corneliano, but a bit of a loss of rhythm to get there. Good serve, Kitakela. Targets Ngurianu. Beachy with a low set. Oh, she's won it off her foot. Have you ever seen the like? Hammers it into the block, kicks it over the net, and wins the point. And knew nothing about it. Ball still looked live when she stepped over the line. No challenge though. What a serve, what a pass. What a brilliant piece of hitting from Fatoumata Sylla. That's a hitter that knew that point was important. She put her back into the jump and she absolutely towered over that block. Well, they've had one comeback of the season in a match context against Busto. This has to be comeback of the season in an individual set from Conegliano's point of view. Overpass, not finished. Still in it. Good hit from Ngurianu, good defence from Sylla. Oh dear. And from hero to villain. Fabulous kill on the last point from Sylla, but got it all wrong on that occasion, and Hawk comes back in. Wow. Big move. One set point remains, no timeouts. They've already been used by Santarelli at the start of what looked like a lost cause in set 3. Out of system play, Sylla this time cranks it and gets the job done. What a brilliant, brilliant finish to a set, and what a marvellous comeback from the Panthers. 25-23, they lead Vallefoglia by 2 sets to 1. Well, that set had it all. Fabulous start from Vallefoglia and Loveth Omruyi, who looked unstoppable. Took them out to an 8-point lead. They were cruising. And then in comes Adigwe. Panthers change everything. Drag themselves back into the match. Gabi comes on to help solidify the whole performance. And Panthers win it. An unlikely win as well in set 3. Well, the coach loved it. Can't believe the lack of blocks either. That is a real credit to Vallefoglia and to Bartolucci in the way she's running her offence. In normal circumstances, Conegliano's block a lot better organised than that in terms of scoring direct points. That's the worst T-shirt cannon malfunction I've seen this season. From old Wild West, as he's known. It's a reload. It goes to whoever shouts the loudest. evidently. Got a lot to choose from. Got to be careful here. There we go. All the fun of the fair, as they say. Well, this has turned into a spectacle. Silla now on 15 points, just one behind Omruyi, who unfortunately for Vallefoglia, it's just the way the rotations break down, but unfortunately her rotations off court for Feduzzi came just when Vallefoglia needed her most. But she will be back on court for this one, and Adigwe is going to start ahead of Bella Hawk. It's a big call from Santarelli, but I don't think he had any other choice. I think Adigwe has, for the moment, proved her point that she should be out on the floor, and she is playing brilliantly. Gabi starts as well. Gabi starts ahead of Nika Daldorop. So it's Gabi and Silla passing in harness. That might be worth a few serves down that seam. Monica Di Gennaro is going to have to work really hard to keep that pass in line. Final check of the rotations from Amanda Simbari, just communicating with second official to confirm we're good to go. A dramatic Sunday afternoon, early evening encounter in the Pala Verdi Villorba. Prosecco, Doc, Accararo, Imoco, Conegliano are having a real struggle here with 9th placed Vallefoglia. It's forced changes from Daniele Santarelli. For the team in yellow, in comes Merita Digwe in the opposite slot. She replaces Bella Hawk. In comes Gabi Guimaraes. She replaces Nika Daldorop. And Vallefoglia looking to get off to another tidy start. Good dig from Di Gennaro. They need this point. Silla works it, but Di Bortoli in the right place. We've seen so many extended rallies in this match, and all of them have been fantastic to watch. Big hit, big defense, time and time again. One apiece, Silla with the serve. Good release out of the back line, and Beachy gets her footwork right. Transgressed a couple of times in the match already, stepping on the attack line, but that's perfect. Goofy step for the hit, but it works. Not hittable. But Omruyi not able to take full advantage. Neither is Gabi. Again, Giovannini in the right place to defend. No, Bartolucci trying to be cute with that one. Too cute. Candy hits hard and hits out, no blocker involved. Well, according to the referee, that has now been changed, blocking signal, the block touch signal by referee Simbari, and the blocker not countering that. So good spot by the officials. It is Candy's point. She will serve. She's had a good game, the Vallefoglia captain. Again, no connection between Volos and the middle. Kirikella, who's come in for Lubian, and Vallefoglia sneak a 4-2 lead. It's all happening again. Overpass. Can they take it to 5-2? No. Well, Omruyi has barely been stopped during the course of this match, but that is a very calm, very organised block from Kirikella. Didn't get dragged into the whole dynamic of the attack. That's for Digwe then. Another thunderous hit. Omruyi can't get an attack away on that one. Top warm, incidentally, the Canadian middle blocker is still in for Valafolia and makes two good touches there. Oh, wow. Oh, you are kidding me. That is top draw from the teenager. Look at this. Came and got it and finished it. Exceptional stuff from Adigwe. Another serve for her. That's another good one. Great pass that from Giovannini. Tip is defended brilliantly by Di Gennaro. It's superb from Giovannini again at 6, and it's given her team the chance and Omruyi the chance to win the point. 18 now for Loveth Omruyi. She has been by far the most potent attacker for this Vallefoglia team, with a great support from Bichi, who's on 12 points now. Adigwe hasn't even been on for the whole match. She's on 11 points, 12 points even. Make it 13. Well, those of you that have been watching Merida Digwe play for the last couple of seasons at Conegliano will understand what a prodigious talent she is. That's a nice swing. Top Buom is full throttle when it comes to attacking through the middle. Silla takes it up a notch, but defended by Block and Omruyi brilliantly, followed by Giovannini's block out swing, and Vallefoglia not building a massive lead, but certainly keep their noses in front at the moment. Omruyi will go again. Kirikella runs that slide and has been running it for years with precision. She goes back to the line. Short pass, Giovannini gets caught a little too short in the court. And don't setters love it when they get a chance to swing on an overpass, and that just stung the shoulder a bit for Volos. But it's a good finish. They can all hit. They can all hit, and they love a hit in the warm-up. They usually get the first ball. And it's back to setting duties. Good dig. Still not a great connection out wide to Silla. Bichi goes again, defended quite brilliantly by Volos. Oh, magnificent from Adigwe. This is an exceptional hit again, under real pressure. Completely out of system. What a shot. Really looks like she's enjoying herself on court as well, Adigwe, at the moment. Replacing Bella Hawke and doing a fine job. Off the fingertips, it balloons up over the defence of Kirikella. Point Giovannini, point Vallefoglia. First time a set has felt relatively normal in the early phases. Silla is tipping a few too many at the moment. I think they're all a bit concerned about the block organisation of Valafolia, and Sonia Candy reading that really early and shutting far down. Once again, Valafolia refuse to go away in this match. Still asking questions. Silla still can't get a good hand on the ball. Bicci has to defend her own spike. Blockers get to that one from Giovannini. Bicci goes again, but the set isn't great. And the tip straight into the block should have been defended easily. Omruyi mistakenly leaves it. Asha serves, so Adigwe returns to the front line. Silla gets a hand on it. Good extreme recovery from Volosh. Bicci off the foot of Di Gennaro. Remarkable defensive efforts. And that's the second point we've seen, one off a lower limb in today's match. This time, the golden boot of Di Gennaro. What an effort from Di Bottoli and from Omruyi, but it wasn't coming back. Love it, absolutely love it. Again, just a sign of the team cohesion and enjoyment of the sport, even under pressure from this wonderful Conegliano side. But Vallefoglia have been wonderful tonight too. Bicci straight into the block and straight down her socks. Corneliano starting to turn it on here. Out comes Bartolucci. Just losing away a little bit over the last few minutes with the pressure. In comes the more experienced Spanish setter, Raquel Lazaro, 25 years of age, in her second season here with Vallefoglia. Pumps it out wide to Giovannini, who manages to beat a block that wasn't quite formed by Digwe and Far. Silla defended, she keeps tipping the ball. Doesn't look comfortable at all on the Volosh sets, but no tipping going on there. Sarah Farr puts on the afterburners for that one. Silla back to the baseline. Probably needs a little break across the baseline, and Gabi takes over in front court. Good dig from Di Gennaro again. Gabi just about reaches that one. to stop the arm swing, the full arm swing, just to make sure she got contact on that tight set. Andrea Pistola goes to the timeout. It's been an enthralling fourth set. Can't take your eyes off this one. Well, I think the fact that a 13-10 lead for Conegliano feels pretty good, whereas a 13-10 lead for Vallefoglia in this match has not always felt that safe. But that kind of underlines what we're looking at in terms of the relative quality of both of these teams. But Vallefoglia have played some spectacular volleyball tonight. Again, Santarelli is frustrated that Silla didn't make the play. Candy just checking that her opponent was okay. Giovannini deep into play, and not the best pass from Di Gennaro. Adigwe once again unloads. She has been absolutely relentless with her hitting tonight. High points return, low errors. It's been perfection. And if they win this, Corneliano, Adigwe might be on her way to the MVP. She's made a difference. Oh, huge block. Omruyi goes again. Kirikella puts her hands up and gets hit. Well, that ball defended by Candy, she knew nothing about it. $19 points for Loith Omruyi, 18 points for Silla, 14 points for Adigwe, who's only played half the match. Gabi off pace, clever. Looked at the space all the way and then came in very aggressive to convince the defenders on the other side of the net that she was going with a hard, deep spike. It's good work. 15-12, back round to the Adigwe serve. She hasn't missed one yet. Every single serve has been in with real force. And again, overpass, not put away. Mix up there from Corneliano. Doesn't cost them though. Kept it calm, Boas, and went wide to Gabi. Huge serving from Adigwe. It's a magnificent hit from Omruyi, but she just couldn't get her wrist on top of the ball and it's flown wide. And that looks to me like Corneliano have put a lid on this one. Andrea Pistola with his second timeout of set 4. I seem to say it about every team I watch in this league who are in the lower part of the division, but I watch them play and then say, well, I can't see how they won't be getting results as the season goes on, because this Vallefoglia side, with their strength and depth, look like a very good unit. But maybe that's the top division for you. In essence, every team is a very good team. It's just that some are better than others. Case in point, Corneliano. Adigwe puts another one in court. Another overpass. Kirikella doesn't finish. Omruyi tips and Adigwe beaten. Well, they'll be delighted to see the back of that Adigwe serve because that was problematic. Blirobici out. She's had a good game, but at the moment, Coach Pistola has decided Michaela Stoyanova of Bulgaria is the better option. Well, she's taller, but not tall enough to get to that one. And once again, Gabi winds up the crank to deliver a sledgehammer of a spike. 18-13. Panthers now in touching distance of win number 9 from 9. Good coverage, Di Bortoli with the pick up, but Stoyanova a little ponderous with the swing. You can't do that against blockers of this quality. Silla it is that scores her 19th point of the game. Omruyi is on 20 now. Well, time and time again, this Corneliano team have proved that a big season cannot be reliant on just one or two big players. It is a team effort, a squad effort. That has been the case tonight. And the contribution from Adigwe in replacement of Bella Hawke, who just couldn't quite get into the match, has been exceptional. Another thunderbolt hit, well defended by Di Bortoli. Can't get to that one. Kirikella with some acrobatics to finish. Solid pass from Omruyi. Nice release that. Lazaro firing the ball. Tokbuom, who's a player that she won't have had a huge amount of time on court with. Canadian putting it away nicely. And finally, Valafolia get good hands on the attack of Adigwe, but it's still not worth the point yet. Hands away. Point gain. Giovannini was looking for Volosh there, and Volosh removed the block. Clever bit of work from the Panthers captain. Once again to the baseline, so Adigwe into the front court. It's all good for Conegliano. This time Giovannini finds the shot. Left-hander, Stoyanova with the serve. 5 points to find Vallefoglia before Corneliano can get to 25. Oh, wow. I'm not sure why Silla tips so many balls in a game when she can hit like this. And I know she had a seam. Priceless hitting from Silla to get to 20. Maybe it'll be her MVP. comes out of the rather unusual position out of the back court to hit that one. Out, no touch on the block. Another point for Conegliano on the error from Giovannini. Amrui and Silla in a battle for top scorer. Amrui 21, Silla 20. She won't improve her tally with that. Still an opportunity that she could run a pipe or not. No, she's out. She's out. Sconomilio comes in for the pass. That will probably be Silla's last contribution, but she's played a good game. Giovannini then will serve. 2 points for Corneliano to wrap this up. There's the first of them. And that's what you get from a player that has really learnt their trade at this level. Sarah Farr with a set that was not easy to play, but she wins the point pretty easily with it. And that brings a fantastic 7 match points for Corneliano in a game where they have been tested. Stoyanova is put on the floor unceremoniously by Gabi and Kirikella. And a monumental battle. Although it was only over 4 sets, that was a massive tussle. And it comes to an